We know a lot of you were joining us earlier this afternoon for our severe weather coverage, and more of that is coming, but we're hoping we can get through the end of the show first.
It's going to be pretty close.
Yeah.
I mean, we're seeing a lot of warned storms off to our west, just outside of our viewing area. Going to be a couple of them that are just getting ready to make his way into southeastern Iowa. So likely as we get to about just before we start our 5 o'clock show. By 5 o'clock, we're going to go back to severe weather coverage just because we're seeing out the southwest. I'll show you that in just a little bit. Weather impact alert from now all the way to about 8 p.m. And that goes for our hometowns well east of the river itself, okay? So we are still looking at the impact being all modes of severe weather. We're still concerned about seeing some isolated tornadoes. Out of this category, I think where the most concern is the severe wind gusts that we could be expecting from those storms, especially the ones that are located just south and west of the Quad Cities. Of course, earlier on in the day, early afternoon, we have been talking about some of the warned storms well north of the Quad Cities. Several were tornado warned storms. Those have now made their way off to the north and east. Now we're concerned about those storms that we see out to the west. And some of those polygons, those yellow polygons, kind of that canary color that you see there, that's indicating that some of those storms could very likely have some brief spin with it and maybe some strong wind gusts that go with it as well. And that's why some of those warnings are well ahead of the storm itself. So that's why we are giving everyone a fair warning that those storms are coming your way. Tornado watch, you bet. We can still talk about some of these brief spin-ups that may take place as we make our way into the early evening hours. And that's why we have this watch out until around 8 o'clock. Ahead of that line, look at these temperatures, still well into the 80s. Hard to tell, but off to the west, right near Des Moines, numbers are already in the lower 60s. Farther west, numbers are in the lower 50s, like we're noticing in Omaha, as well as around Sioux City. Those are the temperatures we'll eventually feel come tomorrow, and that will have some wind with it. Speaking of, we're still getting a good wind out of the south, approaching 40 miles an hour on the gust, and that temperature right around 84 degrees. Of course, we are tracking those storms, and we'll give you the latest information on that in just a few minutes, Shelby.
All right, thanks, James. But for right now, we're going to check in with Morgan Strackbine, patrolling the skies in the Beast tonight. Morgan, are you still in Wilton?
Yeah, we're still hanging out in Wilton. Again, that line has continued to slowly but surely inch itself closer to us. And I really like the area that we're in because I'm watching the main area of concern is pushing into southeastern Iowa, and the main direction of the entire line is going east. But when you're looking at the intensity of the line, that's generally going to move north and east. So we do have a couple of warnings as well as some tornado warnings out near Fairfield, Iowa. And I think that's going to be the wave of energy that could push closer to our area here within maybe the next hour. So kind of camping out here, but I do want to take you outside and show, obviously, lots of cloud cover and exactly what James was saying, nothing but wind. It has been so breezy out here, especially when you get into these open fields. Lots of warmth, but I also want to take a peek up a little bit. Yeah, it's not the best picture of clouds, but I almost want to point out that it's trying to take on a shape of maybe some modest clouds. It's not the best, very disorganized, but what that tells us is how turbulent the atmosphere is and how fast those winds are getting, especially just above that surface, which is what we look for really whenever we are tracking a lot of these severe events. So we are going to continue to stay here for just a little bit longer. Again, we're watching radar very closely and we'll continue to monitor that. And if we need to move, we are going to move to maybe get a better vantage point for some of these storms coming in. But we're just watching and waiting out here. And of course, more updates are going to come in the future. Shelby?
Morgan, really fast before we let you go, if you can still hear me, what is it that causes those clouds to do that like bubble effect right above you?
Yeah, so modest clouds, like I said, I mean, it's not the most profound, but it kind of looks like the atmosphere is trying to do that. But what that means is we have sinking air present. When you have sinking air present, you kind of almost can, it's kind of like potholes in the sky. You got those little pockets that are dipping down. So that just really goes to show, like I said, the turbulence into the atmosphere, how unstable the atmosphere is going to be right now, and what this line of storms is carrying itself into. So yeah, a little fun science lesson there, but something that we like to watch for, especially as we watch these storms begin to come in.
All right, thank you so much, Morgan. And we do want to let you guys know about a new way to keep an eye on the weather anytime. We have a live radar 24/7 on the News 8 Plus app where you can check out current conditions all across the Quad City area whenever you want. If you scan this QR code on your screen, you can find out how to download the News 8 Plus app to your phone or smart TV, and then just select the live radar channel. Meanwhile, Mid-American Energy is very busy preparing for tonight's severe weather with additional crews all over the QCA. Tree crews and line workers are currently on standby. There will be also a storm response semi-truck moving through the area to assist crew members faster. And if repairs are necessary, critical infrastructure like hospitals and water treatment plants will be prioritized. Then they'll move on to restoring circuits for residential areas next.
If there is an impact and you see power lines down, I can't stress this enough. Don't approach that line, even if you think it doesn't have any power flowing through it. Even if you don't think it's a power line, treat it as one because it's possible that's touching a power line that's energized.
Now, as far as preparation, officials say residents should charge your phones and have non-perishable foods and bottled water ready just in case.